In this video, I'm going to show you 10 ways that you can speed up your editing workflow inside Premiere Pro. Let's dive in. So probably one of the most important things to do as a video editor is to work in what's called passes. So when I say pass, I mean like do one task first. For example, if you are color correcting your clips, color correct all your clips at once. Don't color correct one clip and then maybe trim another clip and add a sound effect to another clip and then add a music clip. Try to focus on one task at a time, and this will help you get a lot faster video editing. Another tip is when it comes to color grading. When I color grade my clips, I usually use adjustment layers. This does two things. First, it separates it from the video clip so it doesn't bog down your video clip in the timeline. And second, it makes it more easy to edit later. So for example, if you use an adjustment layer, you can easily stretch that out over multiple clips and then use the razor tool to make a cut and then just tweak your grade later on over different clips. My third tip is to select your song first if you plan to edit your video to a song. This is very helpful because it just sets the pace for your video. You'll begin to put together the edit a lot easier when you already have the song selected. I personally use Artlist for my songs. I have to say they have really high quality tracks, and I'm always impressed with their library. After browsing their library, downloading, and importing inside Premiere Pro, I just drag that to my timeline and start editing to that music track. If you're interested, you can get 2 months with my link down in the video description if you are looking for a stock music website such as Artlist. The next tip is to use the audio track mixer inside Premiere Pro. The audio track mixer is a pretty cool tool. It allows you to apply audio effects to the entire track inside a Premiere Pro timeline. So for example, on my timeline here, I have a clip of me speaking, and as you can see by the audio meters, it's kind of low. So in order to bring this up instead of keyframing, each word, we're gonna use the dynamics effect using the audio track mixer. So to get to it, just go up to Window Audio Track Mixer and then select your sequence. Then you'll notice a new window pop up. Just twirl down from the top left, and then you'll notice that there's different tabs that you can add effects to. Where we'll need to go is under Amplitude and Compression, and then click on Dynamics. So just double click on the effect, and then the window will pop up. Check next to Compressor, and then change the ratio to 3. Usually this works for me, and then I change the makeup to about 12 decibels. Then I enable the limiter and set the limit amount to -6. Now you'll notice that my levels are a lot higher. This not only works for, compression, such as, in this example, but you can use this for reverb and a lot of other cool audio effects. Another tip is to use the paste attributes function inside Premiere Pro. For example, in my timeline here, I have a clip of this soccer player, and you'll notice that there are some bars on the top and bottom. I want to get rid of those and also get rid of them for the other clips in my timeline. In order to do that, I'll change the first clip and then copy the attributes of that clip. So to do that, I'm just going to go up to Edit, Copy, and then click on my other clip in the timeline, or if you have multiple clips, you can select all of them, and then go up to Edit, Paste Attributes. There are keyboard shortcuts for this as well if you just want to use your keyboard. This saves time because otherwise you'd have to do this manually every single time, and that's just tedious. Now, another way that you can speed up your workflow inside Premiere Pro is to use plugins. I personally like using the Motion Array plugin. This allows me to browse hundreds of stock graphics, footage, sound effects, and music, and download it directly into my Premiere Pro project, definitely speeding up my workflow and saving me a bunch of time in the editing process. If you're interested, you can save up to $50 on an annual plan if you are interested in Motion Array. But Motion Array isn't the only plugin I use. There are several other plugins that I use to save time. If you're interested on the top free plugins, I did make a live stream going over some of them. I'll link that video down in the video description if you do want to learn more about some free plugins you can use. Now this next one's pretty cool. If you find yourself using B-roll clips a lot, you might want to consider using Pancake sequences. What this allows you to do is have 2 sequences open at the same time. So for example, you can take your B-roll sequence, put it above your other sequence, scrub your B-roll sequence, find the clip that you want, and easily just click and drag it to your other sequence. And this is an easy way that you can add B-roll clips to your other timeline. Now, one of the newest features inside Premiere Pro is text-based editing, and this does save a lot of time. To enable text-based editing, go up to your Workspaces button and then click on the new text-based editing workspace. This will open up the text panel. You'll then need to transcribe your audio, and then you'll notice that a transcript is automatically generated. You can easily just select the transcript or parts of the transcript that you want to edit out and then delete it. You can also search for keywords, so this is an easy way to navigate your timeline using spoken language. Now, to be honest, this next one I use a lot. I'm not sure how many other people would use this, but I find this pretty interesting. Say if you have a bunch of clips at the end of your sequence and you want to fade everything out, instead of trying to fade out all the clips, you can use what's called a black video. To create a black video, just click on your new item button in the project panel. Then click on black video. Just make sure your sequence settings are correct and click OK. And next, drag that new item to the end of your timeline. Then hit Command or Control D, and this will add the cross dissolve effect to it. And then just delete the end transition and trim it, and you'll notice that you have a nice fade out for the end of your sequence. This can also work for fading in your footage as well if you want to fade in from black. My last tip is just to really understand your shortcuts. There's a lot of great shortcuts. If you want to see the ones I recommend learning first, I will link that video right up there. But otherwise, I hope this video was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.